Before each battle, they would smear a layer of feces on their faces. Because they were all blind, only by relying on this special smell could they distinguish between friend and foe on the battlefield. However, this blind squad composed of tribal civilians faced enemies who were the nation's regular army. Fortunately, the enemy soldiers were also all blind. Since everyone had been blind from birth, they had all developed exceptionally acute hearing. Soon, tribal leader Jimmy sensed the enemies close at hand. Then he tapped the ground twice with his knife handle, and his subordinates immediately launched an attack. Relying on the terrain advantage, they repelled one by one the enemy troops trying to climb the stone wall. But due to the overwhelming disparity in numbers, one squad member was unfortunately hooked around the neck by an enemy hiding in the shadows with a hook. The enemy prepared to climb up along the man's body. Jimmy made a quick decision and cut the rope connecting his teammate, but the danger had not been resolved. At this time, other defense lines had already fallen. The soldiers set up ladders and were rapidly climbing the stone wall. Although Jimmy and each of his squad members were all brave and skilled in battle, they still could not withstand the opponent's human wave tactics. If this continued, even if they weren't killed, they would be exhausted to death. So Jimmy could only change tactics. He quickly organized the members to evacuate. After evacuating to the mountaintop, he immediately swung his machete and cut off that rope 1 meter thick. The stone wall instantly collapsed. Those soldiers who still fantasized about being climbed up were crushed to pieces. But this battle was far from victory. The squad's wind listener heard countless hoofbeats below the mountain. Obviously, large numbers of enemy troops were still stationed below. Those just eliminated were merely 1/10 of them. Facing this war with no chance of victory, Jimmy could only lead his squad back to the tribe. Today also happened to be his wife's delivery day. Lisa successfully gave birth to twins, and this war was also caused by these two children. At this time, the world had been infected by a mysterious virus. Survivors numbered less than 2 million, and they were all blind. A very small number of people had normal vision, but were called abnormals by people. For this reason, the Queen specifically formed an army to eliminate these abnormals. And Jimmy's wife, Lisa, was pregnant with an abnormal's child, so the children she gave birth to might also be abnormals. Since when Jimmy and Lisa met, Lisa was already 3 months pregnant. But Jimmy didn't care because he truly loved Lisa. That's why he went to war with the Queen. Having just witnessed the brutality of war, the tribe had already begun to have more and more voices opposing Jimmy. They believed that as long as they handed over Lisa and the 2 children, the Queen would spare them.